criteria for acceleration, so it's now abnormal, but its heart rate is accelerating, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. And if you have a look at the little doobie whacker that Mum's touching, and you line up your accelerations, even though they're not meeting the criteria, the baby's accelerating with movement. So we've got a moving baby whose heart rate is accelerating with that movement, which is indicative of what?
Well-being.
Yes, perfect answer.
But she's on,
yeah, we know, we haven't got there yet. Okay. Systematic people, variability.
Reduce.
I said reduce, and then I crossed them out and wrote absent.
Reduce.
Reduce.
So it is reduced variability. And D cells?
No.
We all agree with that one. Contractions?
No.
So the Ctg was recorded from a 34-week gestation primogravid woman on high-dose beta blockers. So what happens with beta blockers?
They block heart rate.
They block the beta.
Okay, so what's happening here is that she's on a beta blocker.
Baby's on a beta blocker.
So the baby's on a beta blocker, and that's stopping the amplitude of that. So we can see the baby is accelerating, but there's a drug impacting on the capacity of the baby to accelerate to what we consider to be
There's a ceiling.
normal.
So
And she's on calcium channel blockers for preeclampsia. What do calcium channel blockers do?
Block the calcium channel.
They decrease variability.
So it is an abnormal trace, however, it's probably reassuring.
It's within context of that clinical picture. We know why. So the baby again is moving. The baby is accelerating with those movements. We can account for the accelerations not meeting a particular criteria, and we can account for the reduced variability from the calcium channel blocker. So if that woman wasn't on those drugs, then it would be more concerning about what's going on with the baby. But it's still an abnormal trace. Number 7. Okay, what have we got for the baseline rate? Accelerations?
I think I said I found 2.
Yeah, I said yes.
15 seconds. That's sort of borderline, aren't they?
Yeah, because they do go up. Yeah.
Variability?
It's normal.
I have reduced.
Oh.
It looks like a clip.
I had this.
It's a clip trace.
I have normal.
That's what my.
Yeah.
So I had this is what I had on mine. I'm like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then what
Well,
I
I figured even if there is a variability, they're still within the normal less than 25.
that was my answer. That it was poorly recorded. To me, it didn't even look like a proper fetal heart rate.
Can't even see any D cells.
So I had to go to the book because I'm like, that's poorly recorded. I don't even really. That's not a. And what it is an irregular heartbeat. So it's an abnormal trace for an irregular heartbeat. How would we have picked that up?
We would have heard
We would have heard it.
We would have heard it.
We would have heard it. So it's really difficult when just looking at a trace. But then I went to have a look on the internet for lots of other traces, and you can see this kind of thing as opposed to more of a spread with your variability. You know, in your other ones, how you kind of get this kind of thing? These are really sharp. And that's the only thing I could see because I was Googling how do I actually pick it up without being able to hear it.
Because there's also loss of contact here, so it is poor.
Am I boring you? Sorry.
So it's abnormal.
It's abnormal.
Starters because of.
Well, either you've got down there that you had reduced variability. I had abnormal because I couldn't pick variability, so I just had a question mark there. The book said that the variability couldn't be picked either, and it was a poorly recorded trace. But in the book, yeah.
The answer.
And I've even written it on the top. I'd be able to hear the irregular heartbeat.
Is it possible that for the exam they could have that as an option? This is a poor trace.
Maybe. I don't remember one on a regular heartbeat in the exam.
Oh, thank God for that.
I don't
That
remember.
actually too looks
Because
like
to
a
me-
scout pick to me.
To me, that would be really hard to pick, and it would be something that you would hear in conjunction with your clinical picture. Okay, so the next one. Baseline rate,
140.
140.
accelerations,
No.
variability.
Reduced.
In some places, it's back to that one.
I went normal because again I
I
went
said normal.
between the things to see how many.
Yeah, that's not,
But I'll go with whatever you want it to be. It
Whatever.
doesn't matter. Well, it will matter.
it's
eventually.
normal there, it's abnormal there, it's abnormal there.
So you've got normal across here. You've got reduced variability there. It's all normal there. It's all
I reckon
normal
it's
there.
much
It's all
somewhere
normal.
it's, I
normal.
reckon it's about
There's-
average.
Points where
Even.
you've got some reduction in variability. Predominantly,
Majority.
it's normal.
See, I reckon it's equal.
Arguing.
Decelerations.
Yes.
Okay, so now we need to determine what type of decelerations are they.
I had to really think about this.
Yeah. I'd go for early.
What
ended
is
up
what
going-
is the definition for an early or a late?
An early starts and finishes with the contraction. The late finishes after the contraction.
This is your important part.
Beautiful.
So they're uniform and repetitive. So have a look. You know that they're decelerations. Are they uniform and repetitive?
Nope.
Because there's one dead giveaway without even trying to.
Except
There's one that happens
There's
without
one that happens without a contraction.
so I
That's
don't
your
know
dead
if they're
giveaway. Yep. So that's your dead giveaway. So we know that they're not early or late.
Oh.
I
So it
reckon
can only be a variable. Are they a complicated variable?
Yes.
What makes a
Well,
complicated?
if they're complicated, if I'm right with my reduced variability, and yeah,
So if you had to put down that it was reduced, that would have made it a complicated
Yeah.
variable.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't put it down, they're just persistent variable decelerations, which are consistent with what?
core compression.
Chord compression. The CTG was recorded from a premature woman who presented with threatened premature labour and reduced fetal movements at 36 weeks gestation. Her membranes were intact and her cervix was closed. So the book says
so
that
she's not in labour then.
no, she's not in labour.
Therefore, she should be having acceleration.
Yeah, she should be having
Therefore,
acceleration.
it's complicated anyway.
No, because it's got the variables have nothing to do with the accelerations. It's only the variability and the increasing baseline. So the only thing that would make a difference between your answer on the test is whether you determined whether that was reduced variability or not.
What did they say?
Normal variability.
And not complicated.
No, I also on my
So
test.
what,
It's still abnormal. Still an
Yes,
abnormal,
yes.
yeah, it's still
Yes,
abnormal traits, but they're just like persistent variables, simple persistent variables.
Yep.
Which is, you know, you need to start considering in the antenatal period why you've got this persistent cord compression.
Correct, when she's got intact core waters
Exactly.
and she's not labouring.
Exactly. So have you just got her laying in a position that's causing this compression while she's having the CTG? So you just move her, like change
So
the
what-
maternal position.
sorry, what did you call them? Persistent?
Yeah, persistent because it just kept going. Like it wasn't just one simple variable, that they were persistent. They're right across the CTG.
And I did not take into account that antenatal trace thing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like I just sort of look at it, oh, that's abnormal.
Yeah.
Then go
then
through,
take the
that's
next
it.
step.
I'm just
Yeah.
admitting,
Yeah.
don't maintain my systematic approach.
And the other thing to recognise on that, go back to that CTG, is that there's no one's given her a doobie.
Yeah.
And she came in with reduced fetal movement. So it's probably really important that you do give the little doobie to press the button so that we can see, like we can take that in, take everything in context. Because if that baby was moving, that might have changed what you thought in relation to the variable as well. Like when you're trying to pick between the two, if you've got a baby that's moving, that's suggestive of fetal well-being and an oxygenated fetus, isn't it? But we don't have that on that CTG. Okay, the next one. Baseline rate.
140.
130.
I wrote 35.
I wrote 135.
It's hard to
Yeah,
know.
I put
I
hard to
don't like
determine,
this. I want this
but-
baby to be delivered.
So what I did when I picked the fetal heart rate is that I went between my contractions. I had 1, 2, 3, 4. I found 5 areas that I could choose baseline rate.
I drew a line.
And then I have got an area where I've showed where I thought that they were deceleration, so they can't be involved in my fetal heart rate. And that's how I picked it. Accelerations. Didn't matter what you picked, are there any accelerations?
No.
Variability.
No.
No, absent.
Absent. No.
If you look at your thing, and most of them are sitting at halfway between a box level. Halfway is 2.5 centimeters. Yeah, or 2.5 beats. So absent is less than 3. So you can see that it's sitting kind of the halfway point. It's obviously going to be the absent. And decelerations.
Yes.
So what are they?
I've actually called them lates because there's some shallow ones in there that are late. I know they're not super duper uniform.
But I've said lights too.
It's dying baby.
Yeah.
They're not late or early.
They're just shit.
They're just prolonged deceleration, and you can't pick it because it goes for such a length of time that it's outside of the contraction. And you're right, it's a dying baby. It's a very, very.
It's
Abdominal trace sister.
So what was a prolonged? What's the definition of a prolonged?
Greater than, what's it, greater than.
Greater than 90 seconds to fucking.
So you measure
Maybe
your
that one
30-second marks. So I just put a circle around where they were, and then I counted in time, and they never went over 5 minutes, but they're all over 90
I wouldn't
seconds.
say, I wouldn't say they're arguing with someone as to what kind of B cells they were. Arguing.
I know, but you're going to be examined on them, so
I
that's the
know.
point. Yeah, is that you are measuring them. So the Ctg8 was reported from a multi-gravid woman at 37 weeks gestation with a known small for gestational age fetus who presented with reduced fetal movements and irregular contractions. And again, we don't have a clicker thing. So is that normal or abnormal?
Abnormal.
Is that baby in trouble?
Yes.
Yeah. Because what does decreased variability tell us? And absent variability?
Well, that the baby can't adjust its heart rate to suit.
Its body.
So that play between the parasympathetic
Yeah,
and the sympathetic is gone. So it's not getting enough oxygen, so it's shutting things down and trying its hardest to compensate, and it's not working. Alright, the last one, baseline rate.
Hang on.
140.
I said 140.
I said 140.
Alright, 140.
Accelerations,
No.
No.
variability,
Yes.
Reduced, absent, reduced.
I actually think I said absent. That's a tricky one too.
Is this a sort of, what do you call a pseudo
Pseudo-
Yeah.
suiting?
Yeah,
And I've written sinusoidal, but then I made question mark.
I've written sinusoidal, query,
But
fetal
I'm
anemia.
heading that way towards the.
well you've had reduced variability down there, so that's less than 5, then it's gone absent, then you've got a deceleration there,
Yeah.
and then you've got like this smooth wavy pattern, that's absent variability.
It's
So
just
predominantly across the board,
just
it's
a
got no
shit,
variability. It is a shit, that's a really shit trace. And then your deceleration, well I picked a deceleration because I said that the
Yes.
heart rate was 140.
I said there was a prolong.
And
I said there was a problem.
Yep, so did I, for about 4 minutes I counted.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, yeah. So there is a deceleration, it's prolonged because it went for 4
I
minutes.
drew it on there.
And then I said that it's gone into these smooth waves. So, queried sinusoidal.
Oh,
So that a Ctg8 was reported from a multi-gravid woman at 38 weeks gestation who presented for a prostate induction of labour for Rh ISO immunisation.
is that not the giveaway for possible fetal anemia?
Yep, absolutely. So the book said it's a sinusoidal pattern.
Ah,
I picked it.
a real one or a pseudo one?
Real one.
Oh,
yeah,
I